And as we prepare for the word preached, would you join with me your hearts and minds in prayer? O God, may the words of my mouth and the meditations of each of our hearts be found acceptable in your sight. For you are our rock and our Redeemer. Amen. Transfiguration. Transfiguration. I think it's really handy, confirmands, that you're in worship this morning, because I have a question for the congregation, but I especially want to know what you think, okay? When I say the word transfiguration, what do you think of? I heard somebody back here say it. What did you say? Yes, Bella, Harry Potter. And somebody back here said it too. I think you all are going to sway the vote here. When I say transfiguration, who automatically thinks of Harry Potter? Yes, many of us. This might be a generational thing. I'm just guessing. But transformation is what? Tell me. Not in the church world, in the Harry Potter world. It's change. It's a what? It's when you change. Something changes one thing to another. And McGonagall teaches about transfiguration in the first years, right? That's who learns transfiguration. And do you remember what she says about transfiguration? She says that it is the most dangerous and complex magic that could happen, and that anybody caught messing around with it will not be allowed to come back to her class. Well, J.K. Rowling, who wrote Harry Potter, was much inspired by the transfiguration of Christ. There's a lot that transfiguration in the Harry Potter world and in our world have in common. But I thought first we should start with transfiguration in the Harry Potter world. You know that there's actually a mathematical formula at Hogwarts for doing transfiguration? You have to take the power of your wand times your concentration. That's over your viciousness, right? It's a dangerous magic. Viciousness times your body weight. And then this is multiplied by this unknown factor, z, and that equals transfiguration. Thank you. Bella just gave me a little round of applause. So I was thinking about this and wondered if there was a formula for transfiguration in our world. So, in the story of the Transfiguration, who shows up to meet Jesus? Moses and Elijah, and they are the human embodiments of what? The law, yes. Moses is the embodiment of the law, and Elijah would be the embodiment of the prophets. So if you take the law and prophets over our lives, and you multiply that by the love of Jesus Christ, right? The human embodiment of the law and the prophets put together. You. It's you. The you is you. All of you all. And me. It's you. It's us. It could be us. That's how transfiguration happens in our world. That we have this living, breathing experience of the love of God and the law and the prophets put together. And where does transfiguration happen? Let me keep this up here. Where does it happen? Where do these moments of transformation happen? Where? everywhere. They should happen everywhere. They could happen everywhere. In the Bible, where does God always show up? On the mountain. Did you notice in the original Testament lesson? Moses goes up to the mountain, there God is. In the New Testament lesson, Jesus goes up to the mountain, there God is. So a phrase is born out of those experiences, and it's this phrase. That when God shows up, and when we are changed in some way because God has shown up, it's a mountaintop experience. Now, in the real life landscape of our lives, does that actually happen on a mountain every time? No. Thank goodness, because we live in Illinois. We would be in big trouble. No, it's more of a metaphorical mountaintop. That these moments when we experience the love of God, the law and the prophets put together, real life, flesh and blood, incarnation of Christ in our life, those mystical moments you can't quite explain, and those real life, flesh and blood, somebody's living out the love of God moments that you can explain, right? Those kind of transformational moments, those are mountaintop experiences. But the question is, do the highs in life always translate into mountaintop experiences with God? No. No, I was talking with Mallory this week. Mallory and I, we talk a lot about this sort of thing because we have, we are, please don't be offended by our crass humor, but we are part of the Dead Moms Club. Our moms both died within months of each other, and so we talk about that a lot and how it's affected our lives. And she and I both agree that that very, very low life moment for us ended up being a mountaintop experience in terms of experiencing the love of God. So if you were to draw the landscape of your life, the highs, the sort of everyday places, the lows, the little things that bring you up out of the doldrums, and the highs again. If you were to map your life, and then if you were to mark the moments of transformation, the mountaintop experiences, in terms of where God has shown up, would those always be up here? Or would they be down here as well? Where do the moments of transformation happen in your life? When has God shown up? The bottom. For a lot of us, God shows up at the bottom. I hope God shows up at the top too. Instead of me telling you some stories or spending a lot of time sort of explaining this and drawing formulas, I thought instead today that the best use of this word preach time would be for you to do some mapping yourself. Find this cream-colored paper that's in your bulletin. You are invited in the next few moments to take a pen or a pencil, and if you need one, let me know and we can bring one to you. Spend the next few moments mapping your mountaintop experiences. I would begin by doing this to draw a literal mountain range and valleys and plains. You can either start at the beginning of your life and move forward, or you can choose a portion of your life that you'd like to focus on. But to draw the landscape of your life, and then to go back through and to mark with a T the moments of transformation that you have experienced. When has God shown up? And then to maybe spend some time, if you have it at the end, to think about what all those T moments have in common. Is there a way that we can, as Oscar said, can we shape our lives in a way that God shows up everywhere? Absolutely everywhere. You have a chunk of time here. We're going to play a couple of songs, just as some background music for you. Map your mountaintops, friends.